Hello everyone, this is Indrajit Ganguly and welcome to the third topic from the second chapter of history, the February Revolution in Petrograd. In my last class, I have already discussed with you the 1905 revolution and the effect of First World War on Russian society and economy. Remember student, the First World War had created the context for the Russian Revolution in 1917. But remember students, in 1917 there was two revolutions. First was held in the month of February and second was held in the month of October. I hope you understood that the First World War had a severe impact on Russian industries and agriculture. There were labor shortages in Russian industries and small workshops producing essential items were shut down. Large supplies of grain were sent to feed the Russian army. So there were food crises in the society and the common people they supposed to fight with one another for having their food. So the year of 1917 was particularly a bad year for Russia's perspective. In February, winter was very cold and food shortages were deeply felt in workers' factory. On 22nd February 1917, a lockout took place at a factory on the right bank of the river Neva. On your screen, you can see this is the picture of river Neva. In the Tsarist Russia during 1917, on the right bank of the river Neva, there is generally most of the factories and workers' quarters generally situated. And on the left bank of the river Neva, basically government offices, buildings, and Tsar Winter Palace generally situated. So on 22nd February, there was a lockout took place on the right bank of the river Neva, and on the next day, the sympathy strike took place at the other factories. As you all know that workers are very united, so all the workers decided to stop the production in Russia because they wanted to overthrow the autocratic Tsarist government. In many factories, women led the way to strikes. These came to be called the International Women Day. Remember students, the Russian women workers were very active in the revolution. Sometimes they also encourage men to organize strikes. As you all know that there are only 31% of women, they worked in the factories and they usually paid less than men. So in many cases women are very active compared to men. There is an instance that a woman called Marfa Vasilieva, she organized a successful strike single-handedly at Lawrence Telephone Factory. So women also have an important contribution in the Russian Revolution. Remember student, the condition of women in Russia, in Tsarist Russia, is very important for 3-mark question. Okay, next, the workers ultimately crossed the river and surrounded the official buildings and quarters in Petrograd. Remember, here Petrograd is the capital city of Russia. And now the recent name of Petrograd is St. Petersburg. Clear? Next. Now the frightened government was decided to stop the workers because now the movement was becoming a widespread movement, broad-based movement. So the Tsarist government decided to impose curfew and the Tsar himself called the police to keep an eye on the agitators. So on 25th February, Tsar suspended the Duma. But the politicians of the Duma, they were opposed the decision of the Tsar. On 26th February, demonstrators came on the road. Remember students, first of all, the movement was started by the workers. So as we say that it was a workers' struggle. But later on, common people of Russia, they also supported the worker. So gradually the movement becoming the mass struggle. Clear? Next. So on 7th February, police headquarters were ransacked by workers. The streets thronged with people raising slogans about bread, wages, better hours and democracy. So I think you understand that people were puzzled by the autocratic Tsarist government, because there was food shortages, the workers could not having their proper wages, the working conditions are not good, okay, and most important, they want democracy. So that means they wanted to free from the Tsarist government. Meanwhile, the Russian regiment, basically the Russian army, also supported the workers, and they formed the Petrograd Soviet. Now, it was a most important decision that was taken by the Russian military. If the Russian military supported the Tsar, then I must say that the revolution could not be accomplished. But the now Russian military also wanted to free from the Tsarist government. So that's why they also supported the workers, and they formed the Petrograd Soviet. I have already told you that Petrograd is the name of the city, and the Soviet means Council of Workers. So finally, Tsar have no option. On 2nd March 1970, Tsar abdicated, and Soviet and Duma leaders formed the provisional government. The provisional government means it's a temporary government, and these provisional government comprised with liberals, radicals, okay, socialists and conservatives. So in this way, the February Revolution ended the Tsarist autocracy from Russia, and by this the leaders of the provisional government decided to bring new constitution for Russia, and it was also decided that there will be election on the basis of universal adult suffrage. But remember student, the February Revolution of 1917 is not a Russian revolution. In April 1917, the Bolshevik leader Vladimir Lenin returned to Russia from his exile. He and the Bolshevik had opposed the war since 1914. I hope you remembered the name Bolshevik, because I have already discussed with you that in 1898, Socialist Democratic Workers' Party was established in Russia, and later on this party was split into two groups. One group is known as Bolsheviks, another group is known as Mensheviks. So as in the Tsarist Russia is an autocratic government, so the political activities and all the political parties are banned, and all the political activities were strictly surveillance under the Tsar. So many of the political leaders, they were exiled from Russia. As you can see, this is Vladimir Lenin. Vladimir Lenin was also exiled from Russia, but after the abdication of Tsar, he returned to Russia, and now Lenin felt that it was a time for Soviets to take over power. Lenin always believed that the society and the government should be run by the peasantry and workers, because Lenin is a supporter of the socialist ideology, and so he believed that the government should be based on the peasantry and the workers. So basically Lenin did not support the provisional government, and by this, in April 1917, Lenin published his famous April Thesis. Remember student, April Thesis is very important for 3 marks question. So please very careful to remember to read about April Thesis. First of all, Lenin called for all powers to the Soviets. I think you know that Soviets mean Council of Workers. So Lenin said that the power should be transferred to the workers, because they are the main force to run the government. Next, he declared that war be brought to end. As I already told you that the Bolshevik party never supported the war, and he stated that Russia must withdraw herself from the World War I. Right? He also stated that land be transferred to the peasants. As you all know that in Russian society, all the lands were owned by clergy, nobility and Russian emperor himself. Right? So he called to the provisional government to please transfer to the lands to the peasant, because they are the actual owner of the land, because they till the land and they produce the agriculture and they produce the grains, and that feed all the people. So peasantry are the important force of the society. So he appealed to the government to transfer the land to the peasantry. And he also appealed that banks be nationalized. It is a very important concept, students. What is the meaning of banks be nationalized? Suppose if a peasant or a worker earn 10 rupees a day, and suppose 8 rupees is his daily expenditure, then 2 rupees will be his saving, right? Then if a peasantry or worker saved 2 rupees a day, then that means 60 rupees in a month, right? So the peasantry or worker could save their money in the bank, and there will be two consequences. What was that? First, bank could provide them interest for this. Obviously, you know that generally if we save our money in banks usually give us interest. I hope you know that. And there will be second consequence is that if the bank be nationalized and if the bank would be under the control of the government, then the government could utilize these money for the welfare of the country. So this concept was very unique that was given by Vladimir Lenin in his April thesis. And he also argued that Bolshevik party renamed itself as the Communist Party. The Communist Party means it was based on the ideology of Karl Marx. The Communist Party means the party belongs to basically the peasantry and the workers, and that's why he also called that the party should be known as the Communist Party. And these are the proposal that was given by Lenin in April thesis. Remember, students, many of the leaders of the Bolshevik parties were not agree with Lenin because they wanted to support the provisional government. But the thing is that within a few months, Lenin became a very popular leader. But after the gaining of the popularity of Lenin and Bolshevik party, the provisional government became very concerned, and they believed that if election will happen, then definitely Bolshevik party will win the election. So the leaders of the provisional government, they took stern measures to suppress the Bolshevik influence. Listen students, these are the measures that were taken by the provisional government to suppress the Bolshevik influence. Basically, the provisional government arrested the Bolshevik leaders. Okay, popular demonstrations staged by the Bolsheviks were brutally repressed by the government, and they also seized the buildings of the Bolshevik newspapers. So as the conflict between provisional government and Bolsheviks grew up, Lenin feared that provisional government would set up a dictatorship. So in September 1917, Bolshevik supporters in the army, Soviets and factories were brought together. And in October, a military revolutionary committee was appointed by the Soviet under Leo Trotsky to organize to seize the government buildings and arrest the ministers of the provisional governments. Now Lenin was looked forward to take an action against the provisional government. Now the day has come, that is 24th October 1917. There was a clash between Bolsheviks and provisional government. Finally, the ministers surrendered and Bolsheviks seized the power. And in this way, the Russian Revolution of 1917 accomplished. After the Russian Revolution, there was a born of a new socialist country in the world map, and the name of this new country was Soviet Russia, or we can say Soviet Union, or we can say USSR. So remember, it is the first communist country of the world, that is USSR. You can understand by this symbol, it is Zeit, it is hammer, and it is star, and it is a red flag. Zeit represented the peasantry, hammer represented the worker, and star united the all people. This is the power, this is the symbol of the Communist Party, and Russia became the first communist government of the world. And students, this is the territory of the Russia, the same territory that the Tsarist government have. This is Russia, current Russia, and these are the neighboring countries that are also part of the USSR. So In this way, the Russian Revolution, or we can say the Bolshevik Revolution, or we can say the October Revolution, these are the different names of the Russian Revolution accomplished by 1917. This is it for today. Thank you and have a nice day.